9 Mike 2, Romeo Papa November. I have you loud and clear. Welcome to the International Space Station. I am ready for questions from the students. Over. Not anymore, but when I just got up on board the space station, I did feel a little bit dizzy, because when you're weightless, your sense of balance doesn't work, and so you have to adapt to weightlessness, and in those first couple of days, it's very easy to feel dizzy, but it goes away after a few days, and now everything feels completely normal when I float. Over. You feel a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, because you've trained for a year and a half, maybe 2 years for this moment, and this is the start of the mission. And then when the countdown hits 0, the rocket just shoots you up into space. It's an incredible feeling to launch and know that the mission has started. Over. Experiments and technology development on board the space station. Just to give you a few examples, we take blood samples of ourselves in order to understand how our immune system responds to living and working in space. I am testing a new 3D metal printer on board the space station to see if we can print components in metal in space. I'm also doing atmospheric science, taking pictures of gigantic lightning strikes that shoot upwards from the top of thunderclouds out towards space, called blue jet and red spike. So many different types of experiments. Over. Hi, Alia. We go to bed normally at 9:30 or 10 p.m. at night. But of course, what does that mean? Well, on board the space station, we set our clocks after Greenwich Mean Time, which is the time in London, United Kingdom, because there's no natural time zone on board the space station. We see 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every day, so we have no normal time zone, and we choose Greenwich Mean Time, and we set our watches after that. Over. It's very important to exercise when you're in space, because when you're weightless, you don't use your muscles or your bones. Being weightless is very similar to just lying in bed, or to having, for example, a cast on your arm if you've broken your arm. And so your muscles and your bones deteriorate if you don't exercise. So we exercise on board the space station for 2 hours every day. We have a bicycle, we have a treadmill, and we have a strength exercise device that we can train on. Over. Oh, we have a lot of different food up here. Something special about my mission, because I'm from Denmark, most of the food is either from America or from Russia, but since I'm from Denmark, I get to bring some Danish space food, some bonus food, and I have collaborated with a Danish chef who's made some special energy bars, very healthy chocolate energy bars that taste fantastic. Over. Almost everything we need on board the space station is provided for us, and it's very limited what we can bring with us of personal items. On board our Dragon spacecraft, when we launched, we could only bring 1.5 kilos of personal items, and so we tend to bring some personal effects that have meaning to us, like family photos, maybe some drawings, things like that. Over. Sunsets and 16 sunrises every single day, because we fly so fast. We fly with hours to fly completely around the Earth once. Over. Well, I had a mission back in 2015, so 8 years ago, and that lasted for only 10 days. This time I've already been on board the space station for a month and a half, and I'm scheduled to be up here until the end of February. Over. Well, that's a good question. It only takes 8.5 minutes to launch from the Earth and to get into orbit about the Earth at an altitude of about 200 kilometers and to be weightless. And then depending on how you plan your rendezvous, it takes an additional 2 to 3 hours, or in some cases, like my most recent trip, it took 30 hours. So it depends a little, but it only takes 8.5 minutes to launch from the surface of the Earth to get into orbit about the Earth. Over. Okay. The best advice I can give you is to work hard. Success in life, no matter what it is, requires hard work. You want to be an astronaut, you want to be a director of a company, you want to be successful at whatever job you have, it requires hard work. But specifically, if you want to become an astronaut, you have to study science, engineering, or medicine. Typically, that's the background that all astronauts have, because what we're doing up here is science and technology development. So having